Welcome, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for being here in this moment with me. My name is Tydeja. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, The Love Journey, where we explore our higher selves, all the laughter, lessons, breakdowns, breakthroughs, learning ourselves and loving ourselves while encouraging each other to do the same. If that's something you can get down with, go ahead and like this video, and of course, join the journey. So today we are doing another seasonal breakdown on December 21st, which was this past Thursday. This was a few days ago that we experienced the winter solstice, but I did sit with this energy and kind of pull from just my own intuition, the things that I've been feeling, and collective energy to bring you guys a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of awareness for what you could be experiencing and how you can work with this time. I have my little note here. I'm going to read through some of these things with you guys, and we will go ahead and pull some cards from the Starseed Oracle deck as usual. So some of the keys of this winter solstice energy: stillness. Okay, so really being able to be comfortable with taking it slow, bringing things down a notch. Reflection, taking the time to really sit with yourself and how you are feeling. Warm environments, surrounding yourself in comfort and in environments that provide you security and provide you warmth and grace. Those are all things that we really want to lean into this next winter season. And also rearranging, whether it's your home, rearranging your routines. That's a big one for me. Rearranging it in a way that provides you comfort and ease, and really leaning into that, you know. And last but not least, connections. So really being really selective with who you spend your time with and how you spend your energy. I think it's really important that we are careful not to isolate too much. While it is important to take this time to self-reflect, it is also important to allow yourself to be held, allow people to hold space for you, and for those people who show up with their cups full and are capable and leave you feeling love and loved. Those are the kind of connections that we want to really lean into this season. Definitely being mindful not to pour too much into those who are not pouring back into us, and those who maybe leave us feeling drained or uncomfortable. Now is not the time to even entertain or engage in those types of interactions. So those are the major keys. During the holidays, you do find yourself in a space where you really just need to spend time alone, and sometimes that's really difficult for family members to accept. A lot of people are very attached to the traditional celebrations of the holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, New Year's are all really jam-packed and close to each other. So there is like this unspoken expectation that you have to show up and participate in not only these holidays, but the social interactions with family and friends. And so I just want to remind people out there who are on this love journey that you have to choose yourself first, okay? Choosing to not participate, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, that is your choice. You don't know anyone an explanation for it. So don't feel bad for doing what feels best for you. If you don't have the energy to engage, or if you know that being around those certain family members is going to bring you anxiety, you do not have to go. You do not have to show up in a situation that does not serve you. And you can still do that and show love to your family, you know, without feeling bad. There's nothing wrong with you know, modifying the experience to serve you, whether that's just giving a phone call instead, whether that's showing up early in the morning and spending time before the big event happens, whether it's choosing, you know, to go for a certain holiday and not for another. You have to do what's best for you, and don't allow the expectations of others to make you feel bad about the choices that you make for your highest and greatest good, okay? I know there could be a lot of guilt around that can bring people down and cause a lot of depressions, or even if your family members aren't around and you used to spend time with them, or it's an old tradition that you're no longer able to participate in because things are not the same, or loved ones have transitioned. Just be mindful of showing yourself grace in this experience as you choose whatever is best for you. Just make sure you pour into yourself, okay, and show yourself love, because this can be a hard time. And if you are suffering, don't be afraid to reach out for help. Okay, I'm not a medical professional or therapist or anything like that, but from my own experience, I know these times can be tough. So I'm just sending my love, that everybody is really taking care of themselves during this moment. Okay, so I just had to get that out there, because as an empathetic person and someone who is highly sensitive, someone who has experienced this in their own lives, I also find myself picking up on the feelings and emotions of others out in the world. So even if like everything's fine in my home and I already have my plans set and whatever the case may be, I could wake up tomorrow and feel the feelings of lack. You know, the people who are mourning their loved ones, like those feelings can sometimes really become attached to you. And when you tap into the collective energy, you wonder why you're feeling this mourning, this loss, or even this excitement, or whatever you're feeling. And it could also not belong to you. And it's important to, during this time, really ground yourself, really cleanse yourself, and really allow yourself to go within and identify what belongs to you, and let go and release anything that doesn't, because during the holidays, the energies are high. So, okay, that's all that I'm gonna say as far as that soapbox goes. I'm going to go ahead and start breaking this deck and blessing this deck. But in the meantime, I did want to share with you guys a few of the things that came through for me as far as channel messages go for this winter solstice. The first thing that came through for me as far as what is important to remember during this next season, these next 3 months, we are not only dropping the baggage of the things that no longer serving us, but this is a period where we're actually burying that baggage. So it's the burial of the baggage that is no longer serving us. It's important to really attach the emotion, the why for your resolution. If there's something that you're putting down right now, or something that you're being called to start or transition from, I really think it's important that you not only look at what your goal is, but like, why do you want it? Is it something that has been holding you back? And if so, like, how can you put this in the ground and completely debt it? Okay, so that is the energy of winter. You have a lot of quietness and stillness to really reflect, to dig deeper, and to really like let go and release those certain things, okay? Another thing is, and it kind of goes into that, is fully feeling your emotions. So during this time, there are a lot of people, like I said, who are feeling a lot of things. And it's important that we take the time with ourselves to sit and to really feel where our emotions are stemming from, the roots, right? And during this time, you will find that your intuition will be speaking a lot of truths into you. And when we hear those truths, it's really important that we don't avoid them and we don't try to mask them, you know, whether it's with drinking, whether it's with smoking, sex, eating, food being a big one, right? Something that I've always struggled with during the holidays. It's important that, not to say you shouldn't indulge and have a good time, right? Because balance. You have to know what feels right for you. Balance for someone could look like not drinking anything at all. And for someone else, it could look like only drinking red wine. I can't tell you what that balance looks like for you, but that's why it's important to sit with yourself and figure out what you're feeling. Why is it that you're reaching for the vice? Why is it that you're looking for the comfort? And what else do you actually need so that you can actually feel the feelings and listen to the truth and not avoid it by masking. So be very careful during this winter season of leaning too far into the things that comfort you in a way that blinds you or that numbs you from your feelings. Something to really watch out for. Okay, for me personally, one of my biggest goals for this season, this winter season, is to really lean into and dive deeper into my wellness routine. That's something that I've already been working on as far as like establishing what it looks like for me. And I think during this season, it's going to be very important and imperative for me to stick to my wellness routine in order to avoid the seasonal depression, in order to avoid the overindulgence, because I am not immune to this energy. Okay, so for me, that's my main goal during this experience. So I'm going to bless this deck, set the intention that we receive messages for our highest and greatest good. I am calling in protection, calling in guidance, that we are able to hear not what we want, but what we need, that we are able to understand what we are experiencing, that it will lead us to knowing ourselves, loving ourselves, caring for ourselves in the best possible ways, doing no harm to none. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle cards. I'm going to pull 3 cards as usual, and then shuffle, see what else comes out, just to see where we're coming from, what this winter season will look like for us, and where we will come out on the other side. Divine Universe, I ask that you come through and you speak to us. What do we need to know? What do we need to hear for this winter solstice to help us move for our highest and greatest good? Using these cards, I ask that you step through and you guide us so that we may know what we are experiencing in this moment, so we may know the foundation of our feelings and how to work through them so that they may serve us and guide us to our purpose, to our desires, to our wellness, to our happiness. I'm automatically feeling a lot of support in this moment. I'm feeling almost like a warm blanket has been placed over my shoulders and I'm just like all cozied up. And that's so funny because my heater, if you can hear it, literally just came on. So definitely confirmation of the cozy vibes of comfort, warm environments and warm interactions. I feel like we're really being called right now to only engage in that which lights us, that which supports us. I also feel like there are a lot of people who are working magic right now. There are a lot of people who are working with candles. Nice. And okay, take that. I feel like there is a big call to lean into herbal medicine, to lean into working with the plants, working with nature, working with the divine through this period. Okay, is there any advice that you have for us in this moment? Any clarification? Okay. So, ooh, I'm feeling like there are more cards to come out. As I say that, they jump out, but I got what I asked for. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this energy. Again, we're working with the Starseed Oracle deck. I'm not using tarot for this. I normally just use this Oracle deck. This is the one that I've sat with and I set the intention of doing our seasonal readings with. Next season, I might switch it up though. So let's go ahead and jump into this energy. So for the foundation of this winter solstice, we have the I Remember card. And looking at this card, this was the first card to jump out. It says Soul Plan, the Fated Life, and the Destiny Life. So I feel like in this winter solstice, we are in this battle between energies and how we're feeling, right? And the first thing that came to my mind was the heart chakra. I'm looking at this light orb that you'll see right here in her chest, right? And then I automatically felt this shift between what she's holding in her hand, and that's right by her root chakra. And I'm feeling like there's this battle almost between what we feel is the right thing to do and this battle between what is expected, right? And I feel like the heart is one of the guides of our lives to really come into alignment with. You know, the heart wants what the heart wants. And so I feel like we're in this moment where we're really balancing and really weighing between what feels right and what feels good and safe and secure for us, and that being the root chakra. And I feel like in this moment, the universe is really calling for us to put our hands out and hold tight to that which makes us feel good, that which makes us feel safe. I know sometimes it feels like we don't have a choice of how we show up and in the experiences that we have, but we actually have way more power than we know. You doing what feels safe and what feels comfortable and what feels secure to you is doing the right thing. And it's almost like this feeling of a warm hug, of acknowledging that we know and we understand that you are feeling a bit of guilt, that you are feeling a little topsy-turvy. It's like the struggle in between what to do, the struggle in between how are things going to work out, what is the right way to go, is this, you know, the right way to move? And I feel like the universe is just reminding you that yes, you're on the right path. Yes, your job is to take care of yourself. Your job is to remember the path that you chose. This is bringing me back to like tradition and holidays, and choosing to do things differently does not mean that you are off track, even though people may try to make you feel that way. You have to remember that you're choosing to do what feels best for you, and that is okay, and that is actually the way that you were supposed to go, and that is all a part of the soul plan. I really want to read this card. I pulled this a lot, and I think that the message in the booklet will really kind of solidify what it is that is being said, and I think it really has a lot to do with these holidays. So I remember. Okay. There was a moment before you were born when you chose the conditions of your life you're living right now. When you plotted out these exact moments along the timeline of your life. We live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our souls choose. And it takes courage and faith. If you pull this card, it is because you're likely now face to face with the choice to follow the destiny life over the fated life. To trust the path your soul is calling you towards, and to remember that this moment was prearranged on your life's timeline. You may find yourself at a crossroad, at a moment when you're being called to make a decision, to keep walking the perfectly laid out path before you, or choose the one less traveled. You may be facing a change of career, a new relationship, a difficult decision, or something else that requires courage or faith. You're being invited to remember your soul's greater plan and to surrender to it. When you're confronted with a path that's undefined, it's normal for doubt or fear to rear its head. In fact, this is a certain sign that you're facing your soul's greater path. Every hero in his or her journey comes eye to eye with doubt. The only way around it is through it. It's all a part of the larger plan. Where are you being called to do surrender into your soul's plan? Yeah, that's right on point. I honestly don't feel like I can add much more to that. Yet again, I think it is just coming back to this idea of the battle between decisions, the battle between how you should show up, how you used to show up, how you want to show up. And the answer in this is we are choosing what feels good to us in security. So I think that is the foundation of what this season is for us during these next 3 months, during this winter time. Choose you. Choose that which feels safe and secure for you, and don't feel bad about it, okay? So the next card we pulled is for the current energy of what we will experience in this period, and we have the Wait card. It says, it's not time yet, things are being woven. And so we have this card here, the Wait card. And yeah, this is just giving me, immediately when I saw it, I just thought stillness. And I thought about the keys that I had mentioned in the beginning of this video for this season. And it's stillness, it's warmth, it's reflection, it's connection and rearranging, and it's just very inward. This is the energy of stillness and waiting it out. And I think that right now we're in a position of kind of figuring out our direction. Kind of like with the other card, there's a lot of cloudiness when it comes to like how we want to show up and the ways that we want to move. And I can say in my own personal life for sure that I have experienced a bit of disconnect, just because there is so much going on in the energies and the way that people are feeling, and it can really feel like death, just to keep it real. Like if I had my tarot cards out here right now, I'm pretty sure death would be coming out right now. Like not that death is funny, but it's just like, it's this feeling of kind of like, oh my gosh, can things get any worse? Like, can things get any more complicated? Can things get any more stressful? And I just feel like a lot of people are weighing heavy on that right now. And there's a lot of doubt in things getting better. And it almost feels like this space of like exhaustion. And I'm seeing like a train, and it's like the little train who could, and it's like you're just slowly chugging and chugging along and trying to make it through, okay? And I feel like it's not the time to push yourself. It's not the time to overextend yourself. It's not the time to be hard on yourself. This is not the time for that. It's the time to cool down. It's the time to really turn things down a notch. My heater just cut off. And when I pull clarification for this card, I got the Void. So if you look at both of these cards, you can see the energy that we're dealing with. There are going to be a lot of people around you, even if this doesn't pertain to you, that are not in a good space. They're not feeling good. They're not feeling well. They're not feeling valued. They're not feeling capable. And we have to remind ourselves to give not only ourselves grace, but those around us grace. And really just embrace this period and kind of like back off, leaving things alone. This is giving kind of like don't touch vibes. There are a lot of things that are out of your control. But even with that being said, everything is divinely in this space for a reason. And the reason is to kind of bring you from this space of reflectiveness into illumination. Because like without reflecting, there's no way you can transition into illumination and direction and knowing where it is that you want to go. As we go into the spring, we have the winter to kind of prepare what seeds you want to plant, check the weather, what zone are you in, what's the best, I was going to say strain, but I know that's like marijuana, so I'm thinking more like, dang, I can't even think of it. Like when it comes to planting seeds, like there are different species or whatever of seeds that you can plant. Like there are so many different squash, so many different tomatoes, right? So now it's like figuring out in your internal garden, like what am I in a space of giving life to right now? Okay. So, I really want to read this here. The Void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic wound. Everything and nothing exists in the void. It's where all life begins and ends. Death and rebirth, see? It's the winter and the womb, the fertile darkness where all things originate and all seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating, freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelmingly small and huge. The void is where faith lives. The message of the void is to surrender to the unknown, to allow the fertile darkness of nothingness to nourish the seeds growing within you. This cannot be more on point, okay? Literally everything I just said. Regardless of whether you know what they'll one day become, you're being called to surrender to the mystery of what's next, to rest and to allow the winter to do the life work for you, to hand over the control and trust that just because you can't see what's happening beneath the surface does not mean things aren't at work. The greatest weavings happen when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us right now. Ooh, that is so perfect. Life is being knitted for us right now. Beneath the surface, in ways known and unknown, now is the time to cultivate faith and allow deep, deep rest. The void often surfaces at the end of a chapter or life phase, when we're called to let go of all we've known and identify with. When you're in the void, it can feel scary. However, when this card appears, it's a sure sign that the most productive thing to do is relinquish control and surrender to the changing mystery of life. That is so beautiful. One thing I really wanted to point out from this card is, one, the fact that the void is the perfect place that you plant your seeds, right? And so thinking about, like I said, the garden in you, like what are you capable of giving life to? What seeds are you trying to nourish within you? Two, I wanted to point out that this is a time where you have to kind of release control. There are a lot of things that you just can't overextend yourself into, and that doesn't mean that it won't work out, but the best thing that you can do is to just rest and allow this period to show you what is next for you. And three, the original card that we pulled here was the Weight card, right? And it said something here about weavings. Oh, here we go. The greatest weavings happen when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us. And that is right here in this card. It says, it's not time yet. Things are being woven. So if those two aren't so on point, I don't know what is. So I think, yeah, things have to get worse sometimes before they get better. And that's okay, you know? So let's go into the destination or the aspiration of what this winter solstice can give us. And we have, your life is a canvas. Look at the transition of color we have here, like from this darkness, right, to this. It's really beautiful. So it says artist, manifestation, creative accountability. So when I look at this, I look at the patterns that have been brought together, and I'm just getting like this image of a quilt, you know, a pattern quilt, patchwork quilt. It's like taking little scraps of this and that and putting it together to make something beautiful to then wrap around you in warmth and comfort. So I feel like this period is going to teach us how to care for ourselves, how to pause and pull away, and how to kind of pour back into ourselves and how to lean on things that actually give us life and stability and support. I think this is a time that we will be challenged, just to be quite honest, all of us, mentally, matters of the heart, matters of security, maybe past traumas or things that we thought we worked on or things that we've been battling through. Like, I feel like this will be a trying, triggering season for us. That is why the universe is calling us to step away, to be still, to be reflective, and to be very selective with who we choose to engage with. I also feel like the fact that we will be challenged and we're being encouraged not to lean into vices and not to lean into, you know, muting those feelings is going to allow us to learn how to transmute them, to learn how to paint a beautiful picture and to reach for things, outlets that are healthy, that allow us to communicate with the universe, with the divine, whether that's through paint, whether you pull cards yourself, whether it's through a cold walk in nature, whether it's through baristaing your own favorite drinks, watching your favorite movies. It could be whatever it is, you know, but just make sure that you are really taking advantage of using these tools that pour back into you, because I feel like during this winter season, you are going to kind of find your saving grace. Like, I just keep hearing like grace, 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 your saving grace. And I think that through trials and tribulations, sometimes we find the gifts and we find our strengths and we find our northern stars, our golden tickets that kind of bring us to our happy place, if that makes sense. Kind of heavy, to be honest, because I just really feel this overwhelming kind of like glooming, dooming feeling of like not seeing the light. And I know that, you know, trigger warning, this could be a time that a lot of people are deprecating, for lack of a, you know, better word, to be more sensitive, let's say that, self-harming. And with everything that's going on, it's easy to kind of not see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that it's important during this time that we lean into, whether it's just the one or two things or people that we have that give us grace. And it could just be the divine, like lean into the divine. If you have an altar, go to your altar, go outside, cry to yourself. If you're a painter, get your canvas out, cry it out, paint it out, you know, slap paint around, or pound it out on the treadmill, like whatever it is that you do love and gives you release. I really think like you have to lean into that right now and lean on your guides, your ancestors, to kind of get through that, because It's these little keys that we have to hold on to in this moment. That will help us dig a little deeper into what we're experiencing and how to move through it best. I think that there is a beautiful word of encouragement waiting for us in this message, so let me find it. All right. So believe it or not, this is the very last card of this deck, and it says, and again, this is giving me like the energy of death, of like the end of a cycle. And it's funny because some of my channel questions, I think there's something along the lines of endings and changing and like pivoting. So we'll get into that right after this. But you are the artist of your life, and your life is a canvas. Take responsibility for your ability to create. Earth is known as a planet of manifestation. Your present moment is based on your past thoughts and beliefs. Your current thoughts determine your future. What kind of life do you want to create for the future, and what are you being called to create? Reconnect with your manifesting power and align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with a vibration that matches them. It's never too late to start, and no experience is required. All you need is an open heart and mind and consistent daily action. If you're not sure what you'd like to create, start instead with a feeling of gratitude for all that is good in your life right now. State out loud what you are most thankful for. Look for the good in your life, and one thing will be certain. You will find yourself attracting more and more good experiences into your world. This card is inviting you to see your entire life as a canvas, and the picture is completely up to you. Canvas. Color it with your thoughts and feelings. Create the life that you most long to live. You may be called to be more creative in your everyday life. What have you been called to create, and how can you express yourself more creatively? There's one more message here for those who are going through a tough time or maybe struggling to find their craft that will help them through this. And I really want to dig into that. So thank you for allowing me to be of service to you. Thank you for allowing me to touch base with those who are in need. I ask that you step through this moment and you give a final word of encouragement to those who continue to struggle to find peace, grace, kindness. What can they take during this winter solstice season, this winter season, this shift, as medicine to loving themselves through tough feelings, to knowing themselves through the urge to mask and mute. What gift do you have? Gift of life. Quick. Okay, beautiful. So for those of you who are struggling, and this is a tough message to give, and this is one of the hardest parts about reading for other people. When you tap into the collective, sometimes it's really heavy, but I'm going to be of service and I'm going to touch base into this. So again, trigger warning for anybody who may have trauma or experience, triggering when talking about self-harm. For those in this moment who may be faced with the idea that things are too heavy for them right now, the idea that things won't get better, the idea that it is easier to give up. Maybe being creative and leaning into an outlet is not something that is in reach for you right now, or it's not something that is enough for you right now. And so for those of you who are experiencing true suffering, the divine has this message here for you as encouragement to take things day by day and to bring your sorrows to the divine, to pray about it, to journal about it, to really lean into comfort, stillness, to give yourself grace and take the time you need to pour back into yourself and allow yourself to be healed, and those that truly love you to support you. Okay, so the first card we have here is all paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, and turn your gaze within. So again, this is just a reminder of kind of the same reading that everybody got for the winter season, but as a personal message to those who are struggling a little more than others. This is a reminder that you are exactly where you need to be. It may feel like you're a long way from where you want to be, and I've been there, you know, I still feel like that. To be honest, like, there are a lot of things I want to accomplish, and sometimes it just feels like the finish line is just so far away, and it's like, you know, it feels like your life will always be this suffering. It feels like you will always have a hard knock life. Like, it kind of feels like nothing will let up. And I want to acknowledge and I want to validate that feeling for you. And I also want to remind you that those who experience some of the worst trauma, some of the most suffering, have the most healing to offer to the world. And you are so full of purpose, and you have so many important things that you are here to do and to create. And that this part of your journey and this part of your story, this is gonna make me cry, is only meant for you to be able to grow stronger in believing in yourself and showing others that they can make it through these same things. Those who have come before you and are struggling with the pain and suffering, and those who will come after you, will be able to see you and hear your story and get your medicine and your healing and your encouragement from your journey and your story. And the universe is just reminding you that this is all a part of your path, and that you don't have to go through this alone, and you are not alone. There are, even if it's just one or two things, there are a few things that you can really anchor yourself into in this moment, and don't give a fuck about what anybody has to say about it. Whether that means taking time off of work, whether that means turning your phone off and not answering it, whether that means, you know, packing your shit and leaving. I don't know who this is for. Like, whatever that looks like, how crazy it looks like, you have support. And whether it's leaning on a prayer, whether it's the $500 in your savings account, whether it's your best friend from college who lives across the fucking United States of America, you have someone, somewhere, something that is there to support you. And baby, when I tell you, that little bit will go a long way, and this will all be something you'll look back and realize, wow, I am that one. Like, I am so powerful. I am so strong. All those things that came against me to break me had no idea what it was coming up against. And even in the midst of your darkest time, that you were able to rise above that, and you were able to make it home. And you will make it home, okay? And the universe, the divine, is there for you. Don't forget to take the time to sit with spirit, to sit with the universe, and to pour out and allow all of your sorrows and your worry to be released from your body, whether it's taking a bath, taking a fucking nap, okay? Like writing it all out and burning it, like whatever it is, like however you choose to release, you have no idea how much effect that will have on you. So please do not underestimate bringing it to the universe. Okay, so the final word of encouragement that I pulled out, and I will read this from the book. And just looking at this journey, right? Because it's like, where the hell is she going? Like, where the hell are they going? Who knows, right? This is where you're going, babe. Home, 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 home. The new earth, inner earth. It says, you'll survive this. I cannot make this stuff up, okay? You'll survive this. Okay? New solutions and beginnings. You have no idea what waits on the other side of this for you. I know it feels like shit now, and I've been there, and we're all in different journeys and different experiences. So I can't speak to what your suffering is, but I can speak to suffering because I've been there, and I just never knew what was on the other side of each door, and there's still something waiting for me as there is for you. And look how beautiful it is. Just look. You'll survive this. It's all with great purpose. Okay. Final message, extended message for those who need a little extra love and a little extra care today, which this is a lot longer than I normally would do, but I understand during the season things are tough and people need a little more care, a little more love, a little more grace. So I'm happy to show up and channel this for you. Because this is a strong feeling. So, inner earth, you'll survive this. Inner earth, also known as Argatha, is believed to be a hidden subterranean world within the planet itself. Many ancient cultures mention it in their stories. It's said that some of the beings of ancient lost lands, such as Lemuria, Atlantis, and Aryabharta, I may be saying that wrong, sorry, went there. Hindu and Celtic lore mention caves and entrances to underground worlds. Tibetan Buddhism refers to the sacred mystical city Shambhala, which is thought to be located in the Himalayas. Many have searched for inner earth in the physical world, but without success. So the mystery continues. It is a place that exists. So the mystery continues. Is it a place that exists in the physical or another level of consciousness? There are solutions beyond what you can perceive, surprising outcomes to your problems and situations, resolutions that are in the best interest of all involved. If you find yourself facing an obstacle or feeling stuck and have no idea what to do, you're being reassured that there is a way out. You will survive this and things will work out. If you're stuck in a rut, do something to shake up the energy and shift your thinking. Try something you wouldn't normally do. Soon you'll see that whole new world of solutions are available. Things that were previously beyond your focus will present themselves. Helpful people, signs from the universe, and support in both expected and unexpected ways are on their way to you. But first, you need to do something different to shift your focus so that you can receive them. What can you do to shift your energy or your outlook? Okay, so that's pretty much on point with what I was saying as far as it kind of feels impossible right now, but understanding that this is a part of your journey to get to the beautiful place of where you are meant to be. And there are people supporting you. The universe is supporting you in your journey to get there. So you'll survive. Don't give up. Do what feels best to you. Allow this activation, allow this awakening. No one said it was easy. No one said it felt good, but allow it to crack you open and allow you to see yourself. And that's really just the start of another beautiful journey into another beautiful place called home. So yes, that is the reading of the cards today. I'm gonna put these cards up before they have me in here crying. Okay, that's what we're not gonna do. That's what we're not gonna do. So thank you for allowing me to tap into your energy, and thank you for allowing me to be of service. I hope that this message has left you feeling a bit of warmth or support, or at least being seen. I hope that this message has reached you in a space of openness to receive it, and that you continue on, you know, and you do what's right for you and what feels good to you. So yeah, I'll leave you guys with this last thing. Again, this is a lot longer than normal, but we're just gonna roll with it. Those who it's meant to be for will be for, and those who it's not, it will not. So 3 questions that I will be journaling on and that I thought would be helpful to share with you guys for this winter season. You may choose to do 1 a week, maybe 1 each month, and then really taking that whole month to like reflect on it, to come back to the question and to dig deeper into your answer, not just answer it mindlessly in like a 1-minute answer. These are a few questions you can reflect on that will help you throughout this season. So the first one is, how do you want to show up in your collective? And what do you desire to contribute to the world you are creating? So, how do you want to show up in your collective? And what do you desire to contribute to the world that you are creating? The second question that I reflected on and came up with for this winter season is, how can you become more present in your journey? How can you become more present in your journey? And what is pivotal in your stories? By pivotal, I had to look it up because I'm like, what exactly do we mean by that? Pivotal. So what is pivotal in your story? Meaning, what is vital? Critical importance. Pivotal can also mean the ending of a direction. So like a turning point. Okay. And last but certainly not least is what or who, what, who, when, where, how do you want to share life experiences with? So what or who do you want to share your life experiences with? Okay. So yeah, that's it. Again, my goal for this winter will be leaning into my wellness routine. I guess I'll answer one of these questions to be a little more transparent. I'm going to answer, how do you want to show up in your collective? And what do you desire to contribute to the world you're creating? Ooh, okay, that's loaded. That's really big. How do you want to show up to your collective? So me showing up here now is one way I like to show up to my collective. I want to show up as myself. I want to show up with the open, big heart that I came in this world with. I want to show up in a way that I am being vulnerable and truthful and honest about my experience. And I want to show up as a facilitator for other people to feel free and open enough to do the same. What do I desire to contribute to the world I'm creating? Love, baby. I desire to contribute my truth. I always have a lot to say. I believe a lot in people. I believe in the power of support. I believe in the power of love and opportunity. And I really desire to contribute encouragement and support and new perspectives for others. I think a lot of the times we get caught up in how we're living because it's all we know, and we haven't been exposed to a different way of thinking or being. And I want to, desire to, and I will contribute that other perspective, that example of thinking outside the box, the example of creating my own narrative and not being stuck in the traditions or the expectations of this old world that has been created to hold us down. So yeah, I know that probably sounds like a lot, but yeah, that is a very short version of my answer, and something I'll probably spend this next month working through. But yeah, that's it for this video. I know this has been a long one, huh? It's kind of been a little heavy too, so didn't expect, well, I mean, I didn't really expect anything, but when you're dealing with collective energy, you never know what's going to come through. So thank you for working with me, being patient with me as I channel through and process those heavier emotions. If you made it this far, like if you really made it this far, like I just love you. I love you so much. I want to express so much gratitude to you for being here, and I really don't have too many words. Like I am honored that you value what I'm saying. I'm honored that you stuck through this far. Obviously, if you've made it this far, you probably are subscribed, but if not, please join the family. Please like the video. It really does help me to spread the love for others to find us. And yeah, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to journey through next. If you are interested in hearing anything specific about any of my experiences I mentioned in this video, let me know. You can always hit me up on Instagram at dlovejourney. My email is in the description box below, or my channel page. I'm not sure, either or. But yeah, hit me up. I'd love to hear from you guys. Again, I appreciate you. I love you so much. I'm going to leave you guys with the same thing I always do this lovely holiday season as we end out 2023. Peace.